Alright, greetings folks, this is BlackWeasel and this is my video game review of EarthBound for the Super Nintendo. I got this game as part of the Super Nintendo Classic, which contains 20 games from a broad range of genres. I bought the Super Nintendo so I could play the role-playing games on there that I couldn't get anywhere else. And for a solid price of $80, I thought it was a nice deal. The role-playing games I wanted was Secret of Mana, Super Mario RPG, EarthBound, and The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Until I found out Zelda is not a role-playing game but an action game. Now back towards the review. EarthBound is a role-playing game put out by Nintendo. Instead of the typical style where the main character is tasked with slaying a horrible monster that's bent on destroying the mystical world filled with supernatural beings, the world of EarthBound takes place on Earth. Hence the title. The game takes a regular turn of role-playing into a bizarre, funny pathway towards becoming one of the most unique RPGs of the 1990s. Instead of dealing with horrific monsters, a group of teenagers are fighting against a bar of throw-up, hippies, mushrooms, and animated nooses. The setting of EarthBound takes place in 1990s America, where Western culture is portrayed in an amusing and odd way. The main character of EarthBound Ness has the curiosity of a cat. One night, a meteorite has struck the landing near him, and he goes out at night to investigate. But he is not the only guy on the scene. In a funny and helpful way, the cops are in on the scene as well. They are blocking certain sections while leaving the only way open so I can progress on the game. There's one thing I like about EarthBound. He is joined by 3 other teenagers that he meets as the journey goes on. These guys have different abilities such as containing magical psychic powers, being a smart inventor, and a martial artist that's great at fighting. Instead of the regular role-playing games of the 1990s, this one actually helps me out on where I'm supposed to go. Certain sections are blocked until I go through a different route and complete a task. Since the setting is in America in the 1990s, I travel to places by foot or by bike. I go to different towns and cities and interact with the local folks. I go to desert towns, sunny vacation spots, and snowy, chilly lands. I get my items. I get my equipment, items, and weapons from stores, from retail stores, like the ones in real life. Like whenever I need something, I just go to a physical store and buy it. The soundtrack is one for the ages. Alongside Persona 3, Chrono Trigger, Persona 4, Final Fantasy 7, and Persona 5, EarthBound is one of the RPG games that contain the best soundtracks I ever listened to. The game has multiple themes for battling against monsters. There's one where I fight against weak monsters. There's one where I fight against regular monsters. There's one where I fight against bosses. And there's one where I fight against hippies. Of all types, there's a track for fighting against hippies. I thought that was amusing to hear. Now to the combat. EarthBound features simple turn-based role-playing elements of fighting. It is in first-person viewing where the monster isn't on the front looking at me. It's like Dragon Quest 7 that I played last year and Final Fantasy Star that I played after this game. Another unique thing about EarthBound is that whenever I fight against monsters, in the background features strange and psychedelic movements, which makes the fighting not boring at all and entertaining to look at. When one monster attacks me, my health does not deplete at all. Does not deplete all at once. My hit points just start going down as time goes on at a standard rate. It's like beating the meter when I'm parked downtown and need to get stuff done. If I can restore my health before it reaches 0 from the monster's attack, then I'm still alive. If my health reaches 0, then I die and I end up in a hospital, and I need to end up paying a certain weight, to get healed. Yeah, that's what really happened in EarthBound. Like I die and end up in the hospital, then I have to get back where I need to be. I'll give EarthBound a 9.5 out of 10. It's one of the best role-playing games I played on the Super Nintendo, and one of the best games of my life so far. Alongside Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy 4, Alongside Chrono Trigger, Persona 4, Final Fantasy 7, Suikoden 2, and Persona 5, this game is in a league of its own due to the way it's designed. I have played EarthBound on April 3rd, 2018, and I finished it on May 24th, 2018. It took me almost 42 hours to finish this game.